I'm Carla Reeves, and this is Differently. Whether you feel stuck in survival, navigating a change, or seeking more for your life, may this podcast be your weekly nudge to take a risk to build a life that is uniquely bold, authentic, and in alignment with your deepest values. What if you worried less about the bumps in the road and instead got equipped for the journey? Get ready to rethink what's possible. A man's mind may be likened to a garden which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. I've been revisiting some of my favorite books on the topic of your thoughts, thought management, and this quote just stood out. This might land heavy as responsibility, which it is that, and it might land like possibility, which it is that too. And I want to invite you in this episode to step into both with curiosity. You know, we often think about leadership or the topic of leadership as something that happens in business, as entrepreneurs, in boardrooms or corner offices. But what if I told you that the most important leadership role that you'll ever have is leading your own life and cultivating an inner life, as James Allen said? I've been reflecting lately on how the world pulls us in so many directions, urging us to be forever constantly busy, always achieving, forward chasing the next big thing. But here's what I've learned working on my own life and working with hundreds of leaders as they work on their lives, that sometimes the most powerful changes come from the simplest shifts in how we think about and lead our lives. So let me share a perspective that might shake things up a bit for you. Consider that there are two paths that we take. One, there's this first path called the default path, where we let the world's current carry us along. It's characterized by constant distraction, disconnection from our true selves, and an endless cycle of consuming and achieving that never quite quenches our soul. But there's another way. There's a different way. And this path starts with a simple but profound shift, which is about being intentional about how we lead ourselves. And what if instead of being distracted, you chose to be present? What if instead of disconnecting from your soul, you made this a priority and took time to listen to it? And rather than serving the endless demands that the world tells us we need to chase, what if you served your highest purpose? These aren't just philosophical questions, but they're actually practical choices that we can make every single day. Here's what's amazing. The smallest shifts in how we think about and lead our lives can create the biggest, most important changes. It might look like this. It could be simply starting your day with intention instead of just reaching your phone or jumping right into work. Or perhaps it's taking that 5 minutes at the end of the day to reflect before you rush to make dinner for the family or before you rush into the next thing. It could look like being the one to apologize first. Or maybe for you, it's thinking about the upcoming events, or if you're listening live, the holidays, and taking a few moments to plan ahead of time about how you're going to show up, regardless and in the midst of everyone else's chaos, moods, and the way that they're behaving. I've seen these simple shifts change people's lives over and over and over again, including my own. And when we start leading ourselves differently, everything changes. Our relationships deepen. Our work becomes more meaningful. I feel like time slows down because we're more present. So here's my invitation to you today. I want you to take a moment to really think about, how are you leading your life? Have you ever thought about it that way? And are you on the default path that the world's showing you and telling you? Or are you choosing intentionally about how that looks? If you're ready to explore more fully what this could mean for you, I want you to come check out Reimagine. It's a dashboard for managing your life differently. I've designed this based on 15 years of coaching and seeing what really moves the needle in people's lives. And it's a dashboard for leading your life and keeping your eyes on things like managing your mind, keeping your eyes on those things that are most important to you, staying accountable to what you say is important, having time and making time to reflect. This is the true self-care so that you can show up fully for the people in your life and the things that you're here to do. Contrary to what the mind wants to say, this is proven to be one of the most generous things that you can do for the people around you and the purpose you're here to fulfill. We are still in the early stages of this membership, which means early bird pricing. Come play with us. Come try this out. See what's possible when you take really good care of your mind. Your life starts changing the day you decide it will and say yes to you. And if you've been listening for a while or you've been around a long time and you've thought about what it would look like to work together, what are you waiting for? Remember that someday is an illusion. And in case you're wondering, there's never a perfect time, season, day, or week. We would love to support you on the journey. You can go to carlareeves.com/reimagine to learn more about how this can look in your life. Until next time, friend, remember, leadership starts with leading yourself intentionally. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Differently. It's been an honor to share this conversation with you. You know, one of the keys to living fully is to take action when you're inspired to do so. I hope you found that spark of inspiration today. And would you help us spread the word? Did someone you know come to mind while you were listening? If this episode could impact someone you know, please share it and pass it along. New episodes drop weekly, so tap that subscribe button and join us next time as we continue to challenge the status quo and get equipped to live life differently.